What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. Today is week 152 of my keto journey. Also, we're in the thick of the Keto Rewind 90 challenge, which is a lifestyle and consistency challenge. So this video, I'm gonna run you or get you up to speed from the past couple of days. Bunch of victories, bunch of things that made the difference between going back to those old habits that didn't work and making progress. So let's get this video started. Okay, so this past week was basically like my first week back in the zone of weight loss, working on my body, and a lot of you have been following along and doing this with me. So kudos to you, big thumbs up. But this past week just reminded me of all the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. The biggest thing is I had been doing so good, you know, Monday through Friday, and I'd always blow it on the weekends. So this time, or like after a year of the yo-yoing for the past in 2021, I finally came to the realization that in order to lose weight and to actually keep it off and to make this lose the weight forever, you have to be consistent and you have to be in some type of diet that doesn't feel like a diet. So you're living the lifestyle. It's the new you. So when I set out to do this 90-day challenge, one of the main things I wanted to conquer was conquering the weekends. Make the difference. Like, be better today, do good today, but be better tomorrow type mentality. So with that said, I made so much effort this weekend. I put everything out there that I was not eating out. I was not cutting any corners, and I was going to do this and treat Friday, Saturday, and Sunday no differently than Monday through Thursday. So and that takes a lot, because for the past year, the weekends, it was like, oh, a break. But after, you finally realize that's not going to work, especially if you want to lose weight, and you've got to put that extra effort in to conquer those weekends. Well, when you finally put that work in, magic happens. Or not magic happens, but the process works. So I'm happy to report I had a phenomenal weekend. In addition to having a good weekend and hitting those goals, all week I got 4 workouts in with strength training. I got a couple walks in. It was just a good week, and it's tough to get that momentum and the ball rolling again. Those first couple of days, it felt awkward. It didn't feel like me, it felt like I was just trying something. But then towards the end of the week, or till at least yesterday, it was like, okay, this is it. This is the new me. This is the lifestyle I choose to live, and this is what I need to get done to get to my goals. So with that said, I'm going to rewind you back to Friday, which was a fasting day for me, and go over what I had for meals Saturday and Sunday. Obviously Friday was fasting, so I had some turkey breast, some chicken breast, and some protein sparing rolls. But as for Saturday and Sunday, those were non-fasting days, so I have lunch and dinner for both days. So I'll meet you back after we've gotten caught up and we're here. Well, it is currently 20-something degrees. I started my walk off with a puffer, and now I'm hot and sweaty. So, but it is a fasting day, so it's not exciting to film that because I'm not really eating much. I will have some chicken breast later, but that's pretty much it. But I did want to mention that just because it's a fasting day doesn't mean you don't have to move your body. So I went on a leisurely stroll. I got, I think, a little over 2 miles in, and I went to visit my kid at school while she was at recess. And then here I am coming home. So it is currently like 1 o'clock or so, just after the beginning of the afternoon. And next I'm going to find a project to do, like another closet or something, something to organize, something to get my mind off of food until it's time to go pick up the kids at school. So I also will be making a menu for Saturday and Sunday. This way I make sure I do not eat out. No takeout this weekend, nothing of that sort. I'm making every meal. So I will need to go shopping for those items, and that'll be it. So I'm going to do all that, and I'll catch you back. Okay, so I'm going to make some of the protein sparing bread. I'm going to link the recipe down below that I used and just show you the little bit of the cooking process and the finished product. But it's protein sparing, so it's really high in protein, very low in carb, and very low in fat. So let me flip the camera around. So there's the egg white powder, allulose, salt, water, and a little cream tartare. Cream of tartar. I love saying that. And then I'm going to whip this on high. And I'm just going to whip this until stiff peaks form. Okay, so here is the finished product. And what do you call that? Big salt?
Maldon.
I put some everything bagel seasoning and some Maldon salt on the top. So we'll put these in the oven at 325 degrees and I'll be back in about 15 minutes. And here is the finished product. Doesn't that look delicious? Do a taste test next. Look how big and tall compared to my head. I mean, that is humongous. So, delicious. Lunch today is reruns of the chicken bean and salsa soup with a side protein sparing piece of bread made in those new mesh pans with everything bagel seasoning on the top. All right, it is now dinner time, and I'm going to chop up these onions using this slicer so it makes them all pretty much the same size. I'm pretty addicted to this gadget. I'm putting a tablespoon of butter into the pan. We're making skillet lasagna. So I'm just gonna saute those onions in the butter until they're kind of translucent. Then I'm gonna add turkey, ground turkey. And once I break this all up, brown it all together, I'm going to just bring it all together so that it is pretty tasty. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna dice up half of a head of cabbage and in about 1-inch size pieces. So now that my turkey has cooked through, the onions are pretty translucent, I'm gonna add marsala, completely optional step, but I just love putting marsala wine in my anything Italian. So next I'm gonna do a big 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a 3/4 teaspoon of pink salt, some type of salt like Redmond's or Himalayan salt. Mix that all together until it's nice and combined and it smells amazing. And next I'm gonna add my sugar-free sauce. I'm using Rayo's just plain marinara sauce. You can use any sauce, but I pretty much the whole jar, and then I'm gonna cover it so it just comes to a simmer. And then meanwhile I'm gonna make the ricotta filling. So I'm doing about a cup of ricotta, about a tablespoon or 2 of Parmesan, and then another tablespoon of Italian seasoning and a little salt. And then once my sauce has come up to a boil, I'm gonna add in my cabbage. And once the cabbage gets nice and soft, it actually turns sweet. And it's just an amazing, delicious, easy, quick weeknight dinner that I just happen to make on the weekends. But once you've incorporated all of that cabbage in the sauce and you put the cover back on it, it'll steam for a good, I probably did it about 10 to 15 minutes. I let it soften, so you can do it till your desired softness. But there's what it looks like once that process is complete. And I added a 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella. I mixed that all in the sauce just so there's a little cheesy sauce down below before I put the ricotta topping on. And then once I've got that all mixed through, it's gonna melt nicely. And I'm going to put the next step on, and that is the ricotta. So I just used a spoon and glopped big glops all over the place, but you're gonna pretend like it's a lasagna in one step. So I've just finished putting all of that, it's about a cup or so of ricotta on the top of my pan here, and I'm just gonna spread it out. And then once that just gets all soft and melty and warmed up, it's ready to eat. I will top it with a little bit more, another 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese. And I forgot to buy freaking fresh parsley. So it's supposed to be prettier than that, but this is the finished product. Imagine there's some parsley sprinkled on top. And here is my bowl of this delicious skillet lasagna, keto skillet lasagna. I'll put the recipe link below. On to the next day. We have Sunday at lunch. So I'm making some low carb wraps. So I'm using pepper jack cheese. It's 4 slices of pepper jack cheese. You can use any cheese. I also made it with Colby cheese. And then I just diced up some lettuce for inside my wrap, my romaine lettuce. I have some sliced turkey breasts that I purchased from Costco. It's just a oven gold turkey breast, and I sliced it by hand. Enough for a couple servings. And then you're gonna put those cheese slices in the oven at 400 degrees for 5 minutes until it's all nice and melty. And it's gonna make like one of those cheese wraps. And set your timer because it goes quick. And then I did blot some of the oil off with a paper towel, and then I added about a tablespoon of mayonnaise to my wrap. And I'm gonna add the turkey, or the sliced turkey. I'm having this with a bowl of soup, so I'm only doing about 3 ounces of turkey, 3 to 4 ounces. I normally would do a much bigger serving of turkey, but we're having this with my leftover soup. So then I'm gonna add some lettuce on top as well. And you can at this point add some sliced tomato. You can add whatever toppings that you want, but don't add more cheese because there's plenty of cheese in this wrap already. And then I'm just gonna roll it like I would a normal wrap or tortilla. And and you have to do it while the tortilla is slightly still warm and pliable. Don't wait till it gets hard. It won't be as easy to roll it. But I'm gonna slice it down the middle and give you a peek inside. And I'm gonna reheat my chicken salsa and bean soup that I made a couple days ago. I made another batch. So while that's heating up, I'll give you a quick peek of how delicious that looks. And I'm gonna do it with a cup of soup on the side, and it was such a satisfying lunch. I kid you not. You know, basically a soup and a sandwich, and I did a couple dill pickles too. But that was lunch on Sunday, and that's the Colby Jack cheese on this wrap. Just another view. And then let's talk about dinner. So I just needed to have Oklahoma style burgers. So you're gonna shave onions really thin, like super, super thin. And then you're getting as much moisture out of the onion as possible. So I put it in a bowl with a bunch of paper towels and I salted them. And then I wrung them out once they'd sat for a while so that I got as much moisture out as possible. So then I'm taking green beans, and here's my favorite kitchen gadget, my oil sprayer. Each spray is a 1/4 teaspoon. So I did quite a few sprays. It totaled to be about 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. And then I salt and peppered and sprinkled garlic on all of the green beans and mixed them up till everything was incorporated. And then right before I put it in the oven to roast at 400 degrees, I hit it one more time with more olive oil this time. And that just makes sure that they roast and they taste pretty like delicious and nutty. Like they kind of give like a nutty taste when they're roasted. So anyways, pop that in an oven at 400 degrees, roast them for at least 20 minutes, depending on how thick or how many green beans. You might need a little bit more, but they're pretty tasty this way. So hit it one more time just for color and get them nice and crispy with the olive oil. So pop those in the oven, and then it's burger time. So we're out using our griddle and some side fajita pans but our griddle's not big enough to do 4 burgers at once. But put your burger patties on next to it because you want to cook your onions, and then when you flip it, you put the onions on it. So just look up how to make an Oklahoma style burger. But anyway, shredded onions on top. There's the keto Hawaiian roll that makes great hamburger buns. I put a little mayonnaise on my bun and served it with my roasted green beans. Okay, so as you can see, I nailed it this weekend. The recipes in itself were delicious. Yes, it was tedious, but I got it done. And also, if you notice, that soup we had this week, or this previous week, so that was something I already knew how to make. It took 2 seconds to make, so it would be quick and easy, so I wouldn't spend all weekend doing dishes. But it was still tasty and on point, and I just feel so good. So that brings me to today, Monday. Now, I did get on the scale. Just for curiosity, I was doing so well, and I knew I had said I did not want to do that. I was going to surprise myself on February 1st, but in the moment, I'm like, let's see. I was noticing my body just really, the changes you can see already, it's crazy. So I knew I had a big loss this week. So I ended up getting on the scale, and from the last time I hopped on the scale, it was just before Christmas, and I was 219 pounds. I hopped on the scale this morning, I was 216. So that was a 3-pound loss minimally. It was probably more than that because I probably gained a couple pounds through Christmas and New Year's. But that weight slingshots off really fast. So you can't really judge that. And that's why I didn't bother weighing myself last week, because it would have been an extra boost on the scale of the loss this week that was really irrelevant. So the true loss I probably had this week is the 3 pounds. So that's a good thing. I've got the momentum going forward. I had a big loss. 3 pounds is huge. So I'm really happy and excited about that. Now, one thing I will say, I felt like a new person getting a workout in. It was fun. It was something I like to do. And I forget how much I enjoy it. So I can't stress it enough. I hadn't been working out on a consistent basis for a while, but this weight loss journey is a mental one. It is like 90% mental, 10% is all the rest in between. So if you can fix the head, you can fix the journey. And with just 4 solid days of working out and then playing around on the weekends, it's like the mental clarity, that just actual happiness, and you know, that mood, it's uplifting. And I can't stress it enough that I can't stress that enough, that you must move your body. You must find a release if you can't move your body. And you've got to just start doing it. The hardest part is doing it that first day, doing it the second day, doing it the third day, and then it starts getting easier because it's just, okay, this is when we work out. So I arranged my whole schedule so that I could make sure I fit in a workout. So that's the plan again this week. I choose strength training because it's being that I have a genetic heart defect, it's better for what I have, and I also enjoy strength training. So when you're doing lifting weights and stuff, it's a short-term stress versus cardio, which is a more high-intensity stress, which is not what my heart needs. So obviously, if cardio is your jam, you need to be doing cardio. High-intensity interval training, that's another great fat blaster. But I personally, I've always been a strength training fan, and that's what I'm doing. So, so the next thing is, let's talk about this week. So it's another full week. I'm going to do 2 fasting days again. My dad and I are going to do Tuesday and Thursday as our fasting days. We're going to be doing the protein sparing modified fasting days on those days. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is just normal keto days. And it's not really keto, it's a high protein, low carb, moderate fat type of, it's kind of like where I'm at, with my macros being a little untraditional. But I feel like if I'm already 40 pounds overweight, or I guess I should say 37 pounds overweight, I don't need to be eating 70% of my diet from fat. I want my body to be taking those macros from what's right here on the 24-hour buffet. So, but my goal is protein. I can't stress that enough. Protein, protein, protein. Additionally, when you eat a higher protein diet, the thermal effect of food means you are burning more calories to eat that too. So, and another perk to do that is you're burning more calories just by eating protein versus if you're eating carbohydrate or fat. And it also, along the lines of that, when you're also eating a high protein diet, it helps repair all the muscles that you tore when you're working out. And it also makes you feel fuller longer. So please don't jip your protein. Hit those protein macros. And if you're not already doing it, please get some type of a food diary, calorie diary, whatever you want to call it. I'm using Carb Manager. You can calculate your macros. It's so simple. You can adjust it to what you want. Because I took like the high protein keto and then I made my own numbers because I wanted even higher protein than what they recommended. So you can do that and, just start logging that food. And when you see visually how much food every time you eat something, how quickly it adds up or how not quickly it adds up or how slowly it adds up and how much more you should be eating, that's a huge insight into what you need to be doing in your weight journey. So I will say this time around, I have made an effort to eat like 1,600 calories. Previous times that I've been trying to lose weight, I had that sucker down to like 1,100 calories, 1,200 calories. And that was a struggle to eat that much back then, but now I'm like, you know what, that was way too little. That messed with my metabolism. I am not a small person, so it's like I'm making it a point this time around that when I hit my goal weight, and I still want my calories, my daily calories to be high. I don't want to be having to sustain all this weight loss on 1,200 calories because that's no way to live. That is not sustainable. So this time around, I am making sure I keep my calories up, and I'm doing this slow and steady. And adding to that point, I have decided to do some type of a cycling, macro cycling. I don't know what the technical term is, but it takes your body like 3 to 4 weeks to adjust to a cut in calories. So if you start off your diet hard and you're at 100%, you go diet and now you're down to like, you're supposed to be eating 2,000, but now you're eating 1,200 calories. Well, your body's like, okay, for the first couple of weeks, but then once it realizes, okay, this is the new normal, we gotta slow the metabolism down to meet, that's a huge drop. So your body will automatically adjust once you've done several weeks of something consistently. So in order to avoid that metabolism slowdown, I'm going to do every 4th week, I'm going to do a maintenance calorie week. Now, yes, that's going to make my journey take a little bit longer, but this is my lifestyle. This doesn't feel like a diet. So if that means I can keep my macros high instead of having to cut and cut and cut so there's nothing else to cut anymore and screw my metabolism, this is a great alternative. So, and plus it will not make it feel like a diet because you get to have a little bit more. So I'm aiming for like 1,600 calories-ish during this cut for like the next 3 weeks. But week 4, I'm going up to maintenance, which is going to be like, I think like 2,200 or something was what I'm supposed to be having. I'm not 100% sure on that number, but it's over 2,000. And I'm going to do that for an entire week. Now, what that doesn't mean is you don't go back to eating the standard American diet, the crap, the excess. Still track those macros, you just get a little bit more that week. And then after that week's over, you start the cut again, back to the original one where you've had, like for this particular week, I'm in the 1,600 range, go back to that in that range. So that's how you continue to lose weight without slowing your metabolism down while being able to eat a normal amount of food without having to cut and cut and cut and cut until there's nothing left to cut. And then you're frustrated and you give up. So that's the whole point here. So please look up, like cycling, some type of macro cycling, metabolism, research that stuff. That's what I've come to and that's what I've found and that's what I'm gonna be doing. And I've never done that before. All I do when I see a slow down the scale, I cut more in the past and I cut more and I cut more. And pretty soon I was like 1,100 calories. I'm starving, but I'm not losing weight. So it all makes sense why you don't want to make your metabolism adjust. You want to have that, you want to keep those macros as high as possible so that when you do stop dieting, there isn't a huge jump from where you have been for the past X amount of months, weeks, years to, okay, you're at maintenance and there's no more cutting, now you maintain it. So you don't want the macros to be like this. To, maintenance here, you kind of want them equal. You want them so it's almost like you just take a step across, So that's the goal here. Please look that up. Do your own research. Do that with me. But I have 2 more weeks at this level, and then we're going to do the maintenance week. And of course, I'll share it all here. So anyways, big loss this week. Huge changes of lifestyle and consistency. And for the first time in a long time, I feel good. So I will see you again quite a few times this week. And please comment below if you want to see a full workout, where I just, okay, it's leg day. This is the workout for leg day. Okay, it's arm day. This is the arm day workout. And if you want to see that, please comment below. If not, I'm going to keep doing the really quick, fast forward, sped up workout. Just to show that it's my accountability, like I got it done, That's the main reason I'm sharing it right now, but if you want to follow along in real time with me and want me to make a video specifically for that, comment below. So I will see you at the next one. I'm Jess, you're watching Keto Rewind. Do good today, but be better tomorrow.